Hey, Drew here. Hope you're having a great day. As you saw in the post, I'm going to be talking about the 6 biggest fears of any CEO. This was published by Vistage, and I thought it was a great article. So I'm giving you a summary here. And if you want the full summary, I'm not going to read the entire thing, but if you want the full summary, you can just shoot me a message and I'll get you over the PDF and you can read it. But a couple things stuck out to me. So 70%. Vistage found that 70% of CEOs have battled imposter syndrome. And I have to say, in my executive coaching experience, that I have seen a lot of this, the imposter syndrome, where people feel like, they really how it comes out is maybe they don't feel like they can ask for an increase, or they don't feel like they belong in a certain room in the organization. And it might be because they came up in the organization, or any number of reasons, right? It has to do with the lack of confidence or self-esteem. But anyhow, so that's number one. Number two, the fear of making the wrong decision. The fear of making the wrong decision. And there's some of the top executives. There was research done by HBR years ago, and some of the top executives over a 10-year study, they were very decisive. And it wasn't that they always made the right decision, but they weren't afraid to make the decision. So this is a fear that to be a successful executive, you've got to overcome this fear. That's number two. Number three is the fear of looking foolish. And I know, I'll say for myself, I don't ever want this one, right? It doesn't make me a perfectionist. I wouldn't say, heck, there's many flaws in these videos that I do. But I don't want to look like an idiot, right? I don't want to get caught off guard. That's probably the best way for me to say it. I don't want to get caught off guard. And so sometimes you can put some protections in place that actually keep people at bay, or keep people separated from you if you deal with this fear. So we have imposter syndrome, making the wrong decision, fear of looking foolish. Number four, risk of a lousy economy. Yeah, sure, right? I mean, we are in such a tumultuous environment right now. It's volatile. It's very ambiguous. What's up is down, what's down is up. It's very strange what's going on in the current environment. So absolutely, that's a concern that we can all have. But at the end of the day, we have to deal with the reality of the situation that we find ourselves in. And we can't control these things, so we have to move forward with the circumstances we're given, and move forward courageously. And on a side note, I know that when the pandemic hit, I had some clients that they're like, "Hey, we don't know what to do. What do we tell our client? What do we tell our team members? What do we tell our employees?" And I said, "Tell them that." Right? They already know you don't know what to do in a pandemic, right? None of us knew what to do. And so you don't have to keep up this fake thing, right? If it's a bad environment, you say, "Hey, here's what we're committed to. We're committed to taking care of you. We're committed to doing everything in our power to make sure that revenues continue to come in. And we're going to be bold in the actions that we take to accomplish that. And just know that we are constantly thinking about how we can overcome the challenges that come our way. And there's going to be a lot of change, but we're in this together, okay?" Right? That's what you say in those environments, which really leads to the next fear. Fear of not motivating employees is another fear. And once again, I have found time and time again in my coaching sessions, people will say, X, Y, and Z is going on. I have this problem with this person and they keep doing this. And I say, "Well, great. Did how did the conversation go when you told them that?" And I say it that way because I know they didn't have the conversation. They go, "Well, I didn't tell them that. I would never tell them that." Why don't you tell them that? Open, honest communication is the key. You want to be a great leader. You want to be a great executive. Open and honest communication. Brene Brown says, "Clear is kind," right? That's huge. Clear is kind. I love that. Straightforward, not harsh, not mean, but clear and truthful and honest with people. And that draws buy-in and trust with your team. And then number 6 is fear of failure, which, right? If you don't want to fail, then be nothing, do nothing, say nothing, right? And definitely don't say anything in this social media world that we live in. But we're going to have failures. It's how you address those failures. I have a great chapter on this in my book, The Executive Leader's Handbook. But the fear of failure is that sixth fear that executives are facing. If you want the full summary and more insights on how to overcome those, just message me. We'll get you the PDF and take care of you with that. Hopefully you enjoyed this. If you liked it, then give it a like, maybe share it with some friends. And with that, I'll see you next week.